Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Monday, the 19th of January 2026. We have signed absolutely no one, so let's get on with the news. This is from southernnews.co.uk. We've been lacking. Alex Neil, what Mill gain from top midfielders return. And obviously he's talking about Casper and all there. Alex Neil says top midfielder Casper and Norre's return gives Millwall a profile they were sorely missing. Norre, 28, returned to first team action against Watford on Saturday after missing 6 weeks with a calf injury, playing the first 45 minutes as the Lions went on to beat the Hornets 2-0 at Vicarage Road. The Belgian was one of 8 central options unavailable in mid-December, with Neil forced to deploy Alfie Doughty and Camille Negley out of position in midfield. The weekend's win marked the first time Mill have started 2 natural centre midfielders in a league game since December the 6th. We've been lacking natural centre midfield players for a long period of time now. So for us to do what we've done without having that has been remarkable, really. In the first half, you could see the tenaciousness, the composure, the physicality that Casper brings to our team. He's a top player, and we miss him when he's not there. Yes, indeed. And he's back. He's back just in time. Now, tomorrow, there is an under-21 game. I told you about it. I told you about the ticket palaver in yesterday's video. This is the preview of the actual game. So Brentford versus Mill under-21s. Mill under-21s travel to Wheatsheaf Park to take on Brentford in the Professional Development League on Tuesday afternoon. Kick-off at 2 p.m. Brentford come into this match on the back of 4 wins in their last 5 matches, with 2 3-0 away victories at QPR and Swansea City in PDL action and home triumphs over Luton Town, West Bromwich Albion in the Premier League Cup. Their singular defeat out of the last 5 was in an away cup clash with West Bromwich Albion, where they suffered a 1-0 loss. The Young Lions come into this trip to Staines upon Thames with 4 league wins from the last 5, with the only defeat in this period coming in the home clash with Swansea City last Friday, as the Swans ran out 5-2 winners at Calmont Road. The recent league victories have come against AFC Bournemouth, QPR, Wigan Athletic, and most notably a 6-0 win over Colchester United, which included a Jaden Thomas Smith hat-trick. I think, isn't his name spelled Jaydn? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's spelled. Benicio Baker brace on his return to the side and Callum Redhead's 4th goal of the season. Brentford sits second on the south side of the PDL split on 26 points from 13 games, scoring 32 and conceding 13 in the process. The side's top scorer out of players who are currently at the club and not out on loan is Michel Boney, who has 5 goals in all competitions. The Bees made it out of their Premier League Cup group, finishing second on 12 points in Group E, which consisted of West Bromwich Albion, Exeter City and Luton. However, they were less successful in the London Senior Cup, as they were knocked out in the second round by Dulwich Hamlet by a singular 0-0. Last season, the West London side won the PDL after beating AFC Bournemouth in that playoff final by 3-2. The regular season saw a second place finish, was set up a semi-final with the northern side of the split's first place side Sheffield United, a match which they won 2-1 away from home to set up the All-Southern final against the Cherries. The last meeting between Kevin Nugent's side and the last season's champions saw the Young Lions run out 3-0 winners at home on the 25th of February 2025, thanks to a first half Frankie Bakers brace and a late Dan Kelly strike at the Den. Updates will be available. Then it's not being shown, even though it's at a stadium, it's at a ground. You can go to the ground. Brentford don't seem to be showing it live, and neither do Millwall. So, the only place to see it is to go down there. Just a shame about all the ticket nonsense. Now, also from millfc.co.uk, coming up this weekend, Mill to host 2026 Jimmy's Day against Charlton Athletic. So Mill will welcome Charlton Athletic to the Den in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday afternoon, kick-off at 12:30 p.m, and the visit of the Annex will see the club host the annual Jimmy's Day in memorial of Jimmy Mizzen. On the 10th of May 2026, it will be 18 years since Lions fan Jimmy was tragically murdered in an unprovoked attack in Lee, London, aged just 16. Following his death, his family have dedicated their lives to working for peace in his memory. The Mizens have since shared Jimmy's story in schools, churches, prisons and workplaces, their messages of forgiveness, peace and hope impacting the lives of countless people and inspiring many to build safer, more peaceful communities. The Lions and the Mizen Foundation are proud to hold the annual day in SE16 and would like to thank fans for their continued support towards the cause. Before kick-off, the Lions and Charlton players will be wearing Mizen Foundation t-shirts to warm up in. Everyone at Millwall thanks the Alex for their backing towards the event. Bucket collections will be held around the ground prior to the kick-off at Saturday's game, whilst Barry Mizen, husband of Margaret and father of Jimmy, will also address the crowd before the match gets underway. Furthermore, the Jimmy Mizen Cup will take place in the Lions Centre on Saturday the 14th of March as Millwall host Blackburn Rovers on the club's annual Community Day. So there you go. Now, moving on to this from millfc.co.uk. Hospitality for the final 3 home games of the season is on sale now. Now, why is that an issue? Well, it could be, that last game of the season, it could be quite the occasion, could it not? If we do finish second or maybe even higher than that. That final home game of the season against Oxford United, that's going to be banging. So, or alternatively, it could be a dead rubber because we might be guaranteed in the playoffs and not much to play for, and it might be a dead rubber. Or, we could be down 5th, 6th, 7th and need to win the game to get in the playoffs, much like the Blackburn Rovers game a couple of seasons ago. So it could be one of them. And, it could be that, even if it is a dead rubber, it could be that Oxford United need to win the game to send Charlton Athletic down. And that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Probably the only time that FC, if the game doesn't matter for us, probably, I'm sure, a lot of people will be celebrating a small defeat. As long as it doesn't matter against us, if it sends Charlton Athletic down. Although, the game, maybe not, because obviously then you lose the game and you want to play the game because it's a guaranteed 6 points every year, doesn't it? So, maybe. So, the final 3 home games of the season are Easter Monday, Norwich City, Monday the 6th of April, kick-off 1pm. Queen's Park Rangers on Saturday the 18th of April, kick-off at 3pm, which could still change. And Oxford United on Saturday the 2nd of May, kick-off at 12:30pm. So there you go. These are the games that could still count, especially that last game. Number 11, Club 1885, all of that stuff, mascot packages, it's all there. Now, the Loanwatch, which should be incredibly long at this point because we've got about 6 players on loan now. So Frankie Baker nets his first Tunbridge goal. Bosh. Frankie Baker's 77th minute shift for Tunbridge Angels on Saturday saw the striker net his first goal for the club, making it 2-1 early in the second half of Tunbridge's 4-1 win over AFC Totton. Manager Alan Dunn replaced Baker with a former Millwall striker Alfie Pavey with 13 minutes to play. Elsewhere, Kamal Grant and AJ Matthews' loan debuts ended in mixed fortunes as Blackpool lost 2-1 at Barnsley. A late goal as well, that it was 1-1, and then a late goal. And Leighton Orient were 3-1 winners at home to Reading. Grant playing the full 90 minutes while Matthews played 58 minutes before being replaced. Jayden Celestine Charles was part of Maidenhead United's side which defeated Enfield Town 3-0 at home, the striker being substituted after 53 minutes. With Ben Drake on the losing side for Braintree Town as Bournemouth were 3-0 winners at the Rare Breed Meat Co. Stadium, which I believe is Braintree's ground. Adam Mayer remains at Cambridge United as he continues to recover from his injury. And these are the games coming up. These are all on Saturday. Doesn't seem to be any midweek games. Slough Town versus Tunbridge Angels. Obviously, our game is kicking off at 12:30, innit? So I don't know. Obviously, no time probably to travel to any of these after the game. But here they are, nevertheless. And there you go. Doesn't show the goal list, but if we can go to YouTube, and we got the match highlights. Tunbridge Angels, they're actually, you can see here, this is the home game for them. They get pretty decent crowds, like between 1,200 and 1,800 fans, nearly every home game. So yeah, they're well supported. So this is number 9 in the middle. That's Frankie Baker there. So this is his sort of assist for the first goal. It's 0-0 at the moment.
It's Tunbridge. It's Frankie Baker picks this up. Good touch there. Brilliant ball inside. It's Leahy. Oh, just round the post, but Sablier is there. At the back post, Marcus Sablier back in the team and back in from the referee. I think he had hold of his men there. Nodded forward now. Balboa picks it up. All over the top. Baker stealing in. He's in here now. And it's a brilliant composed finish.
So this is Tunbridge Angels channel on YouTube. It's Angels TV. Go and check it out and see how Frankie Baker's getting on. Now let's have a look at the transfer done deals for today, as usual from bbc.co.uk. We have some here. What's going on here then? Well, we've got a bit of movement in the Championship. So Yu Hirakawa has gone on loan from Bristol City to Hull. What is that about? What's that about? That's a weird one, isn't it? And Ibrahim Osman has gone to Birmingham on loan from Brighton. We've got Justin Obikwu has left Coventry. He's gone to QPR for an undisclosed fee. There's a permanent transfer. And Alfie Lloyd has gone from QPR to Lincoln on loan. And so there's quite a few sideways movements from Championship club to other Championship club. So that's very interesting, that is, isn't it? Interesting. Now, we got a first team game tomorrow, so let's preview that. This is the historical record from 11v11.com of games between Millwall and Coventry City. Now, it's out of order. You're out of order. Exactly. We've got this here. So this is actually the first game, 1909, listed here, Southern League, First Division. And all the while, I don't know if these are all Southern League games or there's some missing. But we didn't win up there while we were playing in the Southern League. So we play 6 games in the Southern League. Not a single win. First game in the Football League, which we joined in 1920. Bosch 4-1 win. Second game up there in the Football League, 3-0 win. But then, a few years later, because obviously we don't spend that much time in the same divisions really. They're a one club town, Coventry City, and they do get that kind of coalesced support that can help them, to go to higher divisions in the past. Back in the day, in the top division, and even once the Premier League era comes in, they are perennially fighting relegation over and over and over again in that top division, and finally they end up getting relegated, and there you go, the rest is history. But so after those first 2 wins up there, we have a 5-1 defeat and a 5-0 defeat. And then in 1947, a 4-0 defeat. In 1953, a 4-1 defeat. In 1955, a 4-1 defeat. In 27th of December 1955, a 5-1 defeat. So, it's a game, it's a fixture that we lose quite a lot. And we can lose quite heavily as well. Although, there are big wins as well. There's another 4-1 here for us in 1957. Quite a weird fixture. 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. Keeps popping up as a scoreline. If we go to the most recent game and then work backwards, so the most recent game is this one here, 29th of December 2024, a 0-0 draw. Before that, it was a 2-1 defeat. Before that, it was a 1-0 defeat. Before that, the 29th of December 2021, it was a 1-0 victory. And then before that, the worst ever result we've had against them, 6-1 defeat. 8th of May 2021. I think that was the game that Gary Rowett decided to try. Was it Gary Rowett or Neil Harrison? Probably Gary Rowett. Tried to play Marlon Romeo as a centre-back. I think that was the game, wasn't it? Yeah, that didn't really work out, did it? So, yeah. There's a lot of defeats. Not many wins and not many draws. So yeah, and at the moment, if we go, where are we going? We're going here. So we're 3 games without a win up there. So yeah, it's a tough place to go, isn't it? And you got to remember, this is over various different grounds as well. So you got obviously the Ricoh Arena is more modern, but before that it would have been Highfield Road, and before that, who knows? But same situation. We lose quite a lot of these games up there. Now, moving on to this from EFL.com, it is there. Sky Bet Championship pre-match stat pack from Opta. And here we go, Coventry City versus Millwall. So basically we're going to read them and then we're going to translate them. What do they actually mean? So Coventry City have won 5 of their last 6 league meetings with Millwall, drawing 1, keeping 5 clean sheets in those 6 encounters. Oh, that's brutal. That is absolutely brutal. So, last 6 games, home and away, between Coventry and Millwall, we have won 0, drawn 1, and lost 5. Millwall have won 0. We haven't won any of the last 6 games against Coventry City in the league. We did have that cup game that we won. We've only drawn 1 and we lost 5. Jeez. Well, in that case, you could argue we're due. It's time. How long can this misery continue? Surely it has to end sometime. Millwall have failed to score in their last 3 championship matches against Coventry, but have never gone 4 successive league meetings with Sky Blues without a goal. See? There you go. Silver lining on the cloud. Yeah, so basically it's saying the last 3 games against Coventry, home and away, we failed to score, but we've never in our history gone 4 league games in a row against Coventry without scoring. Could still lose 2-1, 3-1, because doesn't mean we're going to win the game, but at least we should fucking score a goal or something. Coventry are unbeaten in the last 7 league games played in midweek, winning 5 and drawing 2 since 2-0 defeat to Derby in March 2025. So midweek game, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The last 7, they've won 5, they've drawn 2, they've lost 0. Again, about time then, huh? They're due. They're due. Now, okay, here we go. Millwall have only managed to win 3 of their last 21 away league games played in midweek on a Tuesday, Wednesday or a Thursday, drawing 9 and losing 9. So the last 21 away league games played on a Tuesday, a Wednesday or a Thursday, we've won 3, drawn 9 and lost 9. Although 21 midweek away league games, that's a lot. That's probably going back to, who was the manager before Harris? Fucking hell, I can't even remember. Going back to Lomas, that's going way back. That's going a long way back, surely. Can't be that many under Alex Neil. Away, not home games, away games midweek. Against no side in his league career for Coventry has Haji Wright scored more goals than he has against Millwall. 4. Level with Sunderland. Netting a brace in both of his last 2 championship matches against the Lions. Oh dear. Well, you know, let's do something about that then. So there you go. Mixed bag, really. Mixed bag. Right, let's get into it. This is from whoscored.com. Here we can see the last 6 games. Coventry, Millwall. We have lost 3, drawn 1, won 2. 9 goals for them, 5 goals for us. 4 yellow cards for them, 10 yellow cards for us. We've kept 3 clean sheets. They've only kept 2 clean sheets. That might be important tomorrow, a clean sheet. Here's the table. Right. This is an important game. If you are mentally ill and you are of the mind that Millwall Football Club could win the league this season. Which, you know, why not? Why not? I mean, we're 4th after 27 games. Just keep going. But here's the thing. If you want to win the league, you got to win this game. Because at the moment, we're 9 points behind them. If we lose it, we're going to be 12 points behind them. If we win it, we're going to be 6 points behind them. A 6-point gap, or 7 with the goal difference. That's a gap that can be closed. Realistically, a 12-point gap ain't getting closed. If it's a 12-point gap, it ain't getting closed. Even you know, if we draw the game and it still stays as a 9-point gap, we're not really going to close that. So if these players and this manager, you want to win the league, because why the fuck not? You know, we're fucking there. Might as well try. You got to win. You got to win this game. If you do that, you have a chance of winning the whole damn thing. Winning the league. Like 87, 88. Yeah. Where did that come from? Nobody thought that was going to happen. Nobody thinks this is going to happen. Why not? Why not? Why can't it happen? But I will say, it's like I said, if it is going to happen, we have to win tomorrow. Simple as. Let's take a look at the table. Expended. Again, you know, in terms of, you know, whatever happens, we'll catch up to Middlesbrough with a win. Obviously, we'll close the gap with Coventry. If we lose, we can only go down to 6. Can't be dropping. Stoke can't overtake us if they win. So we do have that cushion there. If we go to the home table of all the games so far, of course Coventry are going to be good at home. That's how they're top of the table. But, much like Watford, Coventry have only lost 1 home game so far this season. And funnily enough, it was literally 2 games ago against Ipswich. So they lost at home to the team that's in 3rd. Why can't they lose at home to the team that's in 4th? So this is their first home defeat of the season in January. Or it may have been in December actually. And you know, much like Watford, here you go, Alex Neil and Millwall. Have another one. Here you go. Two home defeats. Have another one. So yeah, you know, in terms of away performance, obviously again, they're still top of the away thing. But look at their recent form; they haven't won in 5 away games. So you know, squeaky bum time. If we do beat them, squeaky bum time. You know, they're bringing in players. They're trying to shore it up. They brought in Romain Esse. You know, he played the other day, 67 minutes. He did quite well, apparently. They are, if they lose tomorrow, they could lose a few more. That's for sure. But, there you go. We've got 20 points on the road so far. This is away form. 5 wins, 5 draws, 3 defeats in away games so far this season. And we've got 1 game in hand at Coventry. So if we do win tomorrow, we'll be the best home. We'll be the best away league away team in the league, which is incredible. Can you imagine that? If we go to the form table, where's Coventry? Nowhere to be found. Where are they? The last 6 games, the form. Where are they? They're 16th. They got a bit of a wobble. Wibble wobble. They've won 2, drawn 2, lost 2. And they picked up their first, like I just said, their first home defeat of the season against Ipswich a couple of weeks ago. Why can't they lose a second at home? Why not? And here we are. We've won 3, drawn 2, lost 1. And that, we fucked ourselves with that defeat. We fucked ourselves. And this is the thing. If you go through our games with a fine-tooth comb, you'll find a lot of them we fucked ourselves. It's been our own undoing. Why we didn't get the win, why we lost the game. It's been our own undoing. So yeah. Right, here we go. These are the games. This is the last 6 home games for Coventry. The last 6 away games for Millwall. Ignore the cup game. Who gives a shit about that? Last 2 league games, we've kept a clean sheet. 0-0 at Southampton, 2-0 against Watford. Again, we fucked ourselves against Blackburn. The Derby game was a weird one. 2 own goals, 1 for them, 1 for us. We would have won that game with them scoring an own goal if we didn't score an own goal at the end. And then, the fantastic performance against Bristol City, where we utterly dominated them, and they got the fucking sulk and started kicking off after the game. 1-0 win. So, there you go. If we look at Coventry, you can see it might be, if you keep a clean sheet, I think that's vital in terms of if you want to try and beat them. Because Ipswich kept a clean sheet and they won the game 2-0. All the other games, they've scored at least 1 goal. They beat West Brom 3-2. They beat Charlton 3-1. They beat Bristol City and Swansea 1-0, 1-0. And they beat Leicester 2-1. So it might be, clean sheet first, try and nick a goal. Because if you do keep, it's the old cliche. If you keep a clean sheet, the worst you're going to do is a 0-0 draw. But obviously, Alex Neil ain't defensive. He can play to keep a clean sheet, but he's not defensive. We attack while we're trying to keep a clean sheet. Much like the Bristol City game was that example. Southampton as well. The way we played against Southampton was very, very good. We just didn't get that goal. Strengths and weaknesses, you can see there's a lot for them. See that they're top of the table for a reason. They're no mugs. It's not going to be easy, but whenever was it easy? If you want to win the league, it's never going to be easy. Coventry have kept a clean sheet in 5 of their last 7 matches against Millwall in all competitions. Millwall are undefeated in their last 5 matches in the Championship. Yes, we are. So, let's move on to the prediction. What do they think is going to be the score tomorrow? Interested, they have a player out, and they've got one of their better players. His average rating for this season so far is 7.23. Bobby Thomas. Bobby. Hey, Bobby. How you doing, Bobby? Bobby serves the final and 3rd instalment of his 3-match suspension. So, again, a little bit of luck there for us. A little bit of luck. Because it means they can't rotate their squad, So here we go. Substitute Haji Wright scored a late winner against Midlands rivals Leicester on Saturday afternoon as Coventry came from behind. They came from behind. So they won that 2-1. They were losing 1-0 and they came from behind to clinch a critical home win. So that, again, they nearly got their second home defeat of the season there. That result ended a run of 3 championship matches without a win and maintained the Sky Blues' lead at the top as all of the top 5 teams won. Among those 5 were Millwall, who inflicted an unexpected, according to whom? Defeat on an informed Watford side at Vicarage Road thanks to second half goals from Femi Aziz and Josh Coburn. The Lions have won 3 and drawn 2 of their last 5 championship fixtures as they travel to take on the league leaders. And they say it's going to be Coventry 1, Millwall 0. Coventry 1, Millwall 0. Well. Moving on to this. This is from sportsmile.co.uk. They do a pretty decent preview. But here's the thing. We've already covered a lot of this. So basically the only reason I use this is to get to their prediction. Because, we've covered all of this, the team. Romain Esse, again, he did play the other day. Might play against us. That's an interesting stat. Obviously, he played against us earlier in the season in the Cup as Crystal Palace, with the 1-1 draw that went to penalties in the EFL Cup. He's now going to seemingly play against us a second time for a different team. Has that ever happened before? Has that ever happened before where an ex-Millwall player, a recent ex-Millwall player, has then played against us the following season for 2 different teams? I don't know. And they say Coventry City 1, Millwall 1. We don't do draws. Coventry City showed their resilience to come back and end a tough winless run on Saturday, but they face a tough Mill team. We back the Lions to make things tough and leave with a point on Tuesday, given their impressive run since Christmas. Well. I think it's going to be Coventry City 0, Millwall 1. Your typical smash and grab, Millwall 1-0 victory. Everyone scratching their heads. How did that happen? You just got Millwalled. Bosh. Yeah, I think we're going to win 1-0. And like I said, if we do that, it opens up the league title. So strap yourselves in and get ready for this, because this could get interesting. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.